the unfortunate thing, and this almost gets to the tolerance paradox. The unfortunate thing is we are in a situation now where the liberals are going to have to go mask off authoritarian to get this country back in control. And I'm talking about it's going to be bad because there's probably going to be a lot of 2A right-wingers that come out of the woodworks going, nope, it's time to start buying more ammo and unloading that ammo.
So fun fact, some of the how much do you know about the denazification process of Germany?
The easy answer will be 0, because I'm sure there's going to be some people in the audience that won't necessarily understand where you're getting at. So let's just go ahead and educate it.
So, fun thing about the denazification process of Germany, it failed. Famously, it failed.
Yeah.
Because when
Argentina says what?
Yeah, when we basically had two options. And when I say we, I mean the Allied powers. We had two options. Option 1 was to run the entire country ourselves, or option 2 was to let at least some people from the old regime, the old power, have some semblance of power, because if they didn't, then we were going to have to basically create a nanny state. And so what we did is we started a re-education process with various different countries that had participated in World War II, various Allied powers, taking over the re-education process for different sections of Germany. And this famously fucking failed. Now, one of the reasons it failed is because Russia was part of this, the USSR was part of the process, and this is where we got the fucking Berlin Wall and shit. Like, there were aspects of this that were doomed to fail because of the bedfellows we had, but we basically could not, logistically, we could not denazify the country in any meaningful way without literally eliminating either all of the citizens or all of the citizens' freedoms at that time. And so it just ended up being it ended up being a situation where over time, later generations were taught better. But, like, famously, one of the things that we did is we got rid of their educators. We fired, like, forcibly from top down, said, hey, your schools taught the Third Reich shit. We're firing all those teachers. And then we realized that there were no trained teachers in the country anymore. So we had to rehire a bunch of those teachers and go, okay, so you're still teachers, but you can't talk about the Ubermensch.
Yeah, the swastika's bland.
Yeah, so because of that, I worry that, like, any large-scale attempt to stop what is going on right now would end similarly, not because I want a hopeless situation, but I've seen in the past, like, when we've tried to forcibly take control, not just us, America, but us human beings, when we've tried to take control of situations like that in the past, it doesn't work. And that concerns me.
One of the biggest issues with us even attempting something like re-education camps, the denazification.
We were the reason that the Nazis got all their ideas.
Yeah, I know, right? So one of the biggest issues that we would encounter with us attempting to get rid of the fascists, the however you want to describe them, of our country, is the fact that it's our country. It's a whole lot different thing psychologically when you've got America as a whole going, yes, Nazis are bad, fascism bad. Let's go do what we need to do to get these people back on their feet and become like a liberal democracy, or at least a liberal society, even if it's not a democracy.
And then we can have Afghanistan happen again.
Well, yeah, but
I'm saying we have such a poor track record doing it for other countries. I'm not super convinced we can do it for ourselves.
Well, let's pretend for a moment that we did fine in Germany and we did fine in Afghanistan. The problem with us trying it here is going to be the fact that half of the population do not believe that they're fascists, that they are neo-Nazis, save Nick Fuentes and his ilk. So if you have the people that go, I don't need to be re-educated. This is all a grand conspiracy. Daddy Trump is actually fine, and y'all are horrible people for killing him. You're already starting so far down in the valley that it's going to be impossible, basically, even if we did have success in Germany and Afghanistan, Iraq, and all of these places.
You're trying to win a game of 21 with a hand that already has fucking 18 in it. And the only the only options you have are to say, hit me and hope for the fucking best.
Yeah, split's not on the table this time. So I acknowledge this problem, but we got to do something. No, and I don't mean that in a Fed posty way. If we don't do anything, let's say, like, God is real and he bestows us a boon in 2026, and the Democrats take the House and the Democrats take the Senate, then we can impeach simultaneously the president and the vice president, which means whoever the Speaker of the House is, which would be a Democrat, becomes president. So we get President Hakeem Jeffries, I guess. Even if we're able to do that, and then we don't do anything as far as like reconstituting our republic, what we're going to end up with is in 2028, the exact same shit. Yeah, the Republicans are going to be constantly in the mud. They're going to find a worse person. And in fact, I'll be completely honest. I think if Trump didn't do anything, as far as like pushing to have a third term or claiming that he's in his third term or anything like that, I think that over half of the country would be fine putting his name on the ballot, and they would have fights going, nope, he should be allowed to run if we vote for him. And even if they don't vote, let's do write-ins, or even if they don't put him on the ballot, let's do write-ins and stuff like that. And we would still be in a constitutional crisis where Trump is elected president in 2028, even though he's not supposed to be. So we're basically saying, like, hey, nightmare scenario, he survives. I mean, I can end the nightmare scenario there, but nightmare scenario, he survives and also successfully pulls a bull moose off. Sure, but bull moose happened before the term limits. So. Right, but my point being, actually managed to do what the goal of the bull moose was in the first place. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to do something though. Like, we're going to have the Democratic leaders are going to have to do authoritarianism where their toes are touching the line to get this country back into liberalism, and then go, okay, we're done. And if it doesn't start, and if we win 2026, if it doesn't start with Nuremberg round 2 electric boogaloo, then we're fucked as a country. And I know it's not going to start in as soon as we get anything back. 2026, 2028, doesn't matter. We're not going to do it because our liberal leaders are feckless. They're like they want to take that high road, and even though the Republicans are steadily playing in the mud. That's like one of the things I want to talk about today is the president shitting his pants. Yeah. Personally. And I know that like fact checkers have tried to come in and say, actually, no, he didn't do that. And I think I'm going to begin the video with, I don't care if this is true. Because it's funny. Today, we are going to be playing this video as if we are the Trump administration. Yeah. The facts of the story don't matter. The efficacy of it matters far more than whether or not it's true. And that's... I hope that idea, like, spoiler alert for anybody in the chat who's waiting for me to get to topics, this one is going to become a thing as well. But, like, spoiler alert, that's the thing I'm going to be doing today. I will be probably lying on camera for a purpose. Do yourself a favor. Find that clip of JD Vance from right before the election where he's talking about like making the
shit
story
up so he
about the
can be
cats
heard.
and dogs. I don't know if that's what he said, but it was about the cats and dogs. They're eating the cats and dogs. And he's somebody was, I think this might have been during the vice presidential debate, but he said something to the effect of like,
if I have to make up stories to get the message out there, then that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Find that for you, and that would be great, in my opinion, as a non-YouTuber, as like the intro to that video. Even if you have to do it like in post. Hi, K-Fox.
Hi, K-Fox. How you doing?
Yeah.
do the thing. But I think that's a good idea, because if I don't do that, there's gonna be somebody. Because I've noticed my live channel. I don't know if you've seen in the comment section there, but it reaches more right-wingers than my main channel does. My main channel is very dead in the water in terms of, like, grabbing people that are not my internal audience. Whereas my live channel actively pulls people who are, like, very fucking angry with me. So I definitely want to...
I don't pay too much attention to that dichotomy. I normally, when I jump into the comment section, I'm normally just shit posting for the purpose of the algorithm, which I encourage everyone listening to do. Just pull up the most recent Surus video and just shit post something. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Don't go in there and say comment. Go in there and start a fight. Go in there and say something like fucking agitating. Start a fight with yourselves. I don't care how you do it, but like if you think that one of the things that can help us right now is more left-wing commentators having more reach, then you owe it to yourself to try to increase that reach. Obviously, I'm gonna try to advocate for things like go subscribe to my Patreon and shit, because I like being able to afford food. But if you really want to help, if you think that that is a thing that is helpful, I agree with Dorito. Go start a fight in the comment section and do it like every day or two. And if you don't want it to be on my channel, if there's somebody else that you want to promote, then do it on theirs too. I don't give a shit who it is. I function, and I'm okay just functioning if we can just get more people the resources we need to actually get information out there. I'd like it to be me for selfish reasons, but it doesn't fucking have to be. Hey, you made it to the end. I want to give an extra thanks to the patrons who allow me to do this full time. I want to thank Aaron Rail, Astral, Britzkrieg, Jemshin, Poundini, Red Joker, Victoria, Jonas, Craig, Tarika, Fireshard, Smiling GM, John, Dren Hadamada, Creeper, Sagitta, you know I'm not saying that last part, Valis of Seraph, Ottoman Angel, Rooster Rachel, and Fire Panda, who are all my $20 and up patrons.